At least you're not in a
And
V-neck.
we are live, gentlemen. Welcome to the podcast. This is the KD Ratio, your place for all things nerd. It is June 9th,
Round 2.
2026.
Live with audio.
Round 2.
The other
Thank
one
you.
was completely erased from existence.
We were trying out a different idea. We were
Shout out
doing-
to your boy.
Yep, Baby Gap. Malachi.
And Dylan was just like ignoring him. He's calling over and over trying to be a bro.
Should have answered.
and
It was my bad.
we didn't realize that.
That's why you need your tech homie
But we're here now.
Yeah.
to lock it down.
What are we excited about, Billy?
Today, we have a lot to talk about. But before we get to Guild Wars 3, we got a lot of mumbo jumbo shit to stray through.
Mumbo Jumbo
Mumbo
shit.
Jumbo.
AI robots.
Is that what you wanted to talk
you
about?
scroll
No,
up
it's
more.
just the first thing that I saw.
Did I share this?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Oh, interesting. So I guess let me go to the let me share the screen here because I thought this was kind of cool. I thought you shared this, Kyle, but
You like
let's go to this and change the properties. Browser.
You're welcome.
Here we go.
Malachi, I feel like you should change your username.
All right. So this was
It's good
kind
enough.
of
Yeah.
crazy here. This what the hell? Get out of my way. Basically there's what I thought was so interesting about this was we've seen like the development of robots kind of, with Boston Dynamics kind of putting out videos and stuff like that, but I thought this video was pretty cool.
yeah.
What makes it cool is that robot never did that task ever.
Yep, just virtually.
That was
Evolved,
a virtual training that it took, and then it walked up and picked up this mini fridge or whatever the hell that is.
That's
That's what we were
definitely
talking about.
like sci-fi happening right before our eyes because they've done that in movies and books and TV shows before, but the fact that you could actually do that is really cool. It makes me think of like in the Matrix when they learn new skills and they like upload the program into their
Teach
head.
him Kung Fu.
And he's like, I know kung fu. Like that's
Yeah.
what these robots are going to be doing eventually.
Yeah, I mean,
Scary and exciting at the same time.
if you have the data, it can do it, and it worked. It did it first try, from what I understand. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't what actually happened, but it didn't have to iterate millions and millions of times over, do all these different tests. Someone have to go in there and program it. It learned it in a fake reality and then went and did it. Basically, exactly how humans operate. Watch a YouTube video. I know everything, and then go and do it.
Have you seen that video of what was it? It was like in China, there was like an AI robot, like, is he like a dancer? I'm not sure what it was, but a crowd was watching it.
Where it
And-
kicks the
And
kid.
it ran up and like kicked this kid and then just like kept going. The kid got laid out.
Yeah.
Kid's fine, I hope. It looked fine. It looked more of like an upset cry, not like a hurt cry.
But it just
Are
piece
you a
of
robot
metal.
apologist?
it was,
I think he is.
No, I just want to make sure that the world knows I'm not laughing at a kid that may or may not have been seriously injured.
The kid was maimed.
The kid will never walk again.
His rib cage was broke. Multiple fractures.
The future's great.
It's one of those
But
things.
thanks to AI, his legs are now better than ever.
He is the $6 million man.
We can rebuild him.
Oh shit. Oh.
I know we talked about this on the podcast before, but like robots get as commonplace or as practical as buying like a vehicle price wise. Are you buying one for your house?
Day one. Yeah, I mean, as long as it can.
Day
be-
one, I don't know. I think I might want to
If
work
it's-
out his kinks a little bit before I have that thing around my family.
What's the price of a car these days? I guess actually, should I ask?
Let's say like just like a decent new car, anywhere from 25 to 45,000.
Okay, that's a little more than I was thinking. I was thinking like 10 to 15 for some reason, but that's I immediately was like, wait, that's not really the price of a new
Yeah.
car.
Yeah, I mean, like
Um,
I'm talking like new car, 0
Yeah.
miles,
Yeah,
25 to 45.
not for that price. It's got to be lower, and I don't. Here's the thing, I don't think it will be that price, and it's a very simple reason why. We live in the era of subscription.
Well, yeah, we already
You're
saw
not
the
going to
one.
buy
Right.
You're
The
not
one
going to buy a
robot.
robot. I mean, like, think about the tool AI. Like the tool AI. I sound like a fucking boomer. Think about
the
like different
computers.
the computer.
The World Wide Web.
Like, how much would ChatGPT costs you if you bought it as a standalone product. It would be thousands and tens of. None of
Yeah,
us
I
sitting
mean,
here would
we
do
couldn't
it.
do it. Yeah.
Claude Pro, which I pay for $20 a month. I mean, that thing has already delivered tens of thousands of dollars of value to me. I mean,
Right.
in terms of making my life a little bit easier and doing some cool stuff. I mean, I couldn't afford the product.
So it'd almost be like
wouldn't.
more like a phone, probably.
I think it's going to be probably one of the most expensive subscriptions you have in your life. Like, it would rival that of a mortgage.
Be like, come get your new robot at Verizon. You can upgrade for free to the new model.
Telecommunications.
If it rivals that of a mortgage, I'm hard pressed. I don't think I pay a lot for my mortgage right now. But if it's like,
think about it. Well, okay, so it's a sticker shock, right? So let's
Yeah.
just say it's 1,500 for a mortgage. Let's put a dollar value on it. Let's not speak vaguely here.
Okay.
1,500 to $2,000 a month is what I'm kind of
which is
thinking.
more like rent in the South.
Sure,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Sure.
Like,
but let's frame it at some price. I think that's a reasonable price. Literally, think about you have a full-time worker at your house. You think about this cost savings. You could have it be a master gardener. You got it. We both have a smaller yard. It's nothing like we don't have acres,
No.
but we have land that we could have. He could literally set up Whoa.
you're already
Whoa.
you're already personifying it.
Why is my robot a he? It just feels better.
It just feels-
I don't know if I like it.
My
I
gut-
don't want it to be a girl.
My gut instinct is because in every sci-fi story ever, it's always a girl, like always a feminine portrayal for the AI. So like my instinct whenever I'm talking to AI and stuff, I think of it as if it's like
Female.
more feminine.
It's so
I'm
weird. My
thinking, like,
experience is opposite.
Edie and Cortana.
Yeah.
And
No,
like,
you're
all
absolutely
those-
right.
yeah.
But those are also to get the simpy boys to come watch the movie or play the game.
Well, mine doesn't have like a body,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, like
Yet.
mine's
yeah.
more like Friday. That's how I envision it, like from like Tony Stark's Friday. That's what I'm thinking. Like,
Well, let's think. So let's put it this way too. Then now let's framework around it. So it's got we each have a little bit of land. Land is a joke. We live in developed communities.
I have,
We have a spot.
almost a quarter
So
of
you-
an acre.
You could have every meal hand prepped and cooked. You could make a lot of those vegetables and grow those vegetables with pristine accuracy of like a professional gardener at your house. Have all of your chores around the house, like the rest of your life would be boosted. You would never have to pay a delivery fee for an app because as long as you're interested in like, hey, I want this, it could literally drive your car and go and do that for you. It could do all your grocery shopping. Day one, if it's able to do that stuff,
No.
that immediately is providing way more than $2,000 a month in value
sure.
to me. To where if I don't have to do those things, I mean, just think about eating out. I would eat out way less if I could have professional chef level gourmet meals at home. Like, think of all the different cool stuff that you could experiment with from like a vegetable standpoint, or, you know, and provide it feedback like, oh, I like less of that and I want more of this. Like, you're talking, the cost savings would be dramatic. You could have this thing go around and unplug and plug in every single cord that you're not using to save power. You know how like people want to save power. You could have it do all these things for you. Although what's funny is the action of it walking over and pulling a plug out would probably take more energy than
Yeah,
anything you'd save.
just
So it's
leaving
kind
it,
of
yeah.
interesting to think about it that way. But I think immediately for a middle class family, it brings way more than $2,000 worth of value into your life if you can have it do these things.
Yeah. I don't think so I agree with you 100%. I don't think it's like that on day one. I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to be able to do any of that on day one. I think it'll get there eventually, which is why I'm not like a day one buyer. Like, for me, what you described, I could be way off on this because this technology is moving faster than any technology in history. But for me, that feels more like a version 6 type of thing before it starts like
What's version 1 in your mind? Because you're absolutely right. Like we're already
Version-
seeing shitty versions that don't do
Yeah.
anything what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like when the iPhone comes, like that moment.
Yeah. For
When
me,
everybody buys in.
version 1 feels like it's going to be strictly labor, and it's going to have to basically everything you have it do is going to be like you're talking to like a Claude or a Grok or what have you. So you'll say, I want you to do this, and you might go back and forth a little bit before you hone in what it is, and then it'll do that task.
Oh, I'm not
But-
buying that at all.
That's what I feel like it'll be. And then it's not going
Yeah.
to be like, hey, maintain my garden.
No.
Like, I don't think it's going to be like that quickly.
I'm also operating on a little bit of a different premise than I think most people are, and I know I've shared this vision.
I'm
with
operating
you
on a
guys.
different plane than.
The framework, the mindset, the framework that I'm operating from, the model that I've built in my head is until the robot can understand and do everything, it can do nothing. And I know that I've shared that vision with you
Yeah.
guys. So, like,
Yeah.
for example, I gave the example a few podcasts back. Like, your toddler falls asleep on a lump of clothes on the floor, and you've given the instructions to go take up the laundry and do laundry. The robot goes and grabs all the laundry. The toddler's in that, and he throws them in the washing machine.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't see that as some crazy, like, you scale this to 350 million households across the world
Right.
or whatever, like, you're going to run into some of these problems. And so until it can have contextualize everything, it could do nothing. So I think day one, like the robot itself, it just needs the mechanical pieces working, but it's the software that you're really paying for, which is going to be that subscription model. And it's going to have to run off of one of these incredible computing things. And
I also
until
feel
it
like
does all of that, it's not an interesting product.
the laws you would have to write into it, like the unbreakable things, is different than just like your standard like LLMs, because it's now able to
Actioning.
interact with the physical world. And so like, you like, this is an extreme, but like, you brought up the toddler thing, like, oh, some angry dad's like, shut my baby up, goes in there and shuts up your baby permanently because
Yeah,
it
and you
doesn't understand
Shut my
what-
baby up in under 30 seconds.
Yeah,
You know,
like-
by any means necessary.
like
what
you
I
don't
mean?
know, like so
what?
like
I will conduct
Yeah.
the mission
yeah,
with
like
prime efficiency.
what are the guardrails? Like that would be almost harder than developing it itself, is like getting it to work in a way that
Well,
is
in that
best suited
point-
for us.
At that point, laws need to be enacted where it's like you are held responsible for any action that you then.
Yeah, for sure.
you
But
know.
like any father, like
Well,
not any father, but like any parent could argue, and this is like an extreme. I don't see that happening, but like any parent could argue, like, just because I said shut my kid up does not mean that I wanted it, which is true. Like you're just sleep deprived and you're angry or whatever, but that doesn't mean you want your kid to die.
Yeah.
like,
Which
and
then
so-
it gets into some weird stuff where it's like, okay, does it have audit logs where it's recording every single thing you do so that when
That's
you do
another
get in
thing
trouble,
too,
like
yeah.
is it reporting?
Well, it would
All
need
these
to
things I don't really care about.
it would need to fully understand the tasks to not mess them up. Like
That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
if you
It
tell
has
it
to
to
know
cook
everything.
food, right? Yeah, if you tell it to cook food and the stove didn't turn on, but it just continues, right? Because it's like, oh,
Yeah, like, what? Yeah, what's heat?
yeah,
right?
it would need to understand. Okay, this is sizzling.
Or have the context that, hey, my 3-year-old's running around the house. I need to make sure where they are first before I open this oven
Yeah,
yeah, like
and grab something out.
you're gonna open an oven right before a kid runs into it and falls
And then
into it
yeah,
or something. Like,
Because my hands are made of metal, I don't need mitts. I'm gonna go grab that. I need to wait 2 minutes.
now I can
before
hug Timmy.
Yeah, before I can go hug Timmy.
yeah, just-
See? So and that
There,
those are the
there.
problems that I'm
Yes.
talking about.
Like-
Breathe, breathe.
It is okay.
But
You know what's
those
funny
are
is
the
it would
problems I'm
not
talking
talk
about.
like a robot. They
No. I
already
know.
don't. They talk like humans. So.
But that's why I operate from that framework, because of all this contextualization. It has to know everything, and I've seen some recent posts online claiming that AGI has been achieved, and the examples that they've given is like where they've failed all these other tests, and it's hey, I gotta go. I saw an example today that I thought was funny, that a lot of AIs miss. Hey, there is a car wash 100 meters away from me. Should I walk there or drive there? And it's like, oh, it's 100 meters away. Walk there. Like, why would you drive?
Right.
But it's a car wash.
Right.
Why would you walk to
Yeah.
the car wash? You don't
Yeah.
have your car, right? So it's like a little, and a lot of
Like, it
models have
doesn't
failed
ask,
that.
It depends on what you're doing there, right?
Yeah, and a lot of models have failed that test because like, oh, it's 100 meters. Like, by the time, blah blah blah. No, it understood that like, hey, if and it gave the full like, if you've dropped your car off there, like, then definitely walk. But like, why are you at the car wash? So it provided that full answer.
It's getting better too, but I found that AI, unless it could just straight up search the answer using one of its search engines, AI is really bad at solving riddles too. Like, I don't know what it is, but something about the logic it can't doesn't like it, and also it'll force an answer into existence that doesn't really make sense.
Yes.
It'll justify why it chose that answer, like in several paragraphs. Every AI that I have done, like, tested this out with, because I first ChatGPT did it, and ChatGPT kind of has like a little bit higher of a hallucination rate than other AIs, at least in my experience. But I tried it with Grok and Claude, and all of them came up with different answers that weren't even like really that close to what the riddle was. And they all made up something, and then like used like their own kind of weird logic to defend why they did that. And so that was I think the riddle was like, I have a tiny face, no hands, and I make your day sweeter. And the answer was like money, like a dollar bill or something. And they were coming up with some wild things.
A lollipop.
Yeah.
It's definitely not great at using logic to like determine new things. It's so great at spatial reasoning, like where
collecting data,
collecting information around a topic and pulling it in. I feel like it's really good at that, like pulling research and kind of giving you a cohesive answer. It's really good at that. But also, I feel like every 2 weeks, Claude comes out with a new model, like it's an updated version, and they just came out with this Fable version today.
I was reading into it after you had I hadn't read into it until you posted that thing, and I was like, "What's this?" And I read up all about it after that.
What's interesting is, so it comes with twice the usage cost, which I don't know on the back end if that's actually accurate with like it takes that many more tokens to actually run a query. But what's interesting is you look at the results that I posted on on like how much better it is. It is better across the board in a lot of areas, and it does have some pretty significant gains in some subject areas. Specifically, I think this one was like a cybersecurity, which I don't even know what that means, but I know what cybersecurity means, but I don't know what. Like, does it get better at answering like cybersecurity? Like, what is a cybersecurity?
Yeah. What does it mean?
Passive capture.
Like what is a cybersecurity? I don't know, but it's not that much better than all the other things. Yeah. And if it's twice the cost, I think we're kind of hitting this.
I've actually
hitting a wall
plateau.
Yeah.
I've actually the model that I use is actually 4.7 for Opus. I don't use 4.8 because
you can go all day on it.
For what I use it for, I don't need 4.8, and 4.7 gets the job done just fine, and I can use it way more for the Pro plan versus 4.8. Like, after like an hour of back and forth, I'm pretty much maxed out.
Yeah, I'm building an app, and I will say in that progress, 4.8 has been definitely better.
Yeah.
Not enough to where I would have noticed it if I just kept asking it, but I was like, I'm gonna blow my load today because I can't do that much work today. So I said, review everything that we've already gone through, and then come up with questions where maybe we have a chance to be better.
Right.
And it did it, and the questions it asked were a lot better, and actually it pushed me on some things, like decisions I had made for the app that were like, do you really want to do that? And they were really good, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. So
it definitely probably would require less from the user. 4.7 requires more back and forth to arrive at the same kind of conclusion, but I don't use it professionally. So like if I'm using it just to like, I don't know, like for just like fun stuff,
Yeah,
know?
if
Like,
you're
it's not-
asking it
yeah.
questions like and just text-based stuff,
Yeah,
the models are about as good as I feel like I've seen in the
Yeah.
last 6 months. I don't feel like I've seen a massive jump.
right.
So anyway, that's I don't know how we jumped into AI.
Robot.
It was the
What-
first thing.
Oh
that
yeah,
came
duh.
up with
Yeah.
me.
I guess the virtual world training. What was you guys said you were talking about a couple games that
Yeah. So before we hop into Guild Wars 3, that announcement came because of Summer Games Fest, which has a lot more games than just Guild Wars 3.
well, and it's also like a whole
It's a whole
it's a whole
week,
event. It starts
week
with
and a
state of
half or 2
play.
weeks.
And I don't know if I don't think they're all connected in some way, but it's like the week of game announcements. State of play, Xbox Showcase, EA did a thing, probably a bunch of the
There's
studios did a bunch of
PC.
shit.
One.
Yeah, like Indie had a thing, and then Summer Games Fest. Yeah,
But yeah, we were talking about what games we're excited for. For me, the two standouts I would say were Gundam Rogue Orbit. I'm a huge Armored Core fan, and I have a couple friends that are really into Gundam, and so
It's gonna be cool.
I'm excited to hop into that because the gameplay they showed looks just like Armored Core, and if you add in a Gundam story, which I mean, hopefully it's going to be good. The shows I've watched have been good stories, so hopefully it's the same. But I'm hyped for that one.
Yeah.
God of War Laufey. Internet is not divided, but there's a lot of complainers out there because it's a 40-year-old female you're playing as, and I don't.
Everyone's losing their minds. And
It's
I'm
so
like, if-
stupid.
Like if you're not into that, don't play. But why are you so like? We
Yeah.
need to boycott it and like. I'm so over this. Like, people are so afraid of wokeness.
Yeah.
That like they won't like they just default to that.
Well, and I was
in
telling
their argument.
telling Kyle Billy, I'm still on I'm still on Reddit. I know you guys have kind of weaned off of it.
Oh, you have two?
Yeah,
Oh,
long time ago.
Hmm.
At least once a day right now, ever since the God of War Laufey announcement, there's at least 4 posts every day in the God of War subreddit talking, I think I understand why everybody's upset. Or the real thing that upsets me, and I'm like, fucking shut up. Like, it's just stupid.
It is a dumb topic, but allow me, even though I don't believe in this, I knew that we were going to talk about this.
Okay.
Allow me to play the devil's advocate. So
Okay.
set up your argument as to why it's frustrating, and then let me collect my thoughts because I didn't think we were going to dive into this. Actually, I prepared an argument for this like a week ago when Summer Games Fest happened, and I
Well,
need to like think about it for a second.
Do you why I find the subreddit annoying, or why I find
Oh, I guess what are you?
People's annoyance at her, like how we are
Yeah.
not like we don't understand.
Oh, is it pure? Okay. Are you? But you're in the camp that you're okay with Lauf, like the
Laufey?
character.
Yeah, I'm okay with it because mainly, like, yes, I would love to have another Kratos game instead. I'm gonna lie if I say not because I just love Kratos. But Sony Santa Monica, to me, they've earned my trust, and I like all their games. Like, it's not like I've been burned by them recently. No,
Mhm.
I'm enough of a fan of the company and of the development team and of their decisions that I'm like,
They haven't lost your trust
Yeah,
yet. It would
I'm
be
willing to
like
give it a shot.
BioWare coming in and saying like the next game's gonna star this, and it'd be something that you're not
yeah,
like they haven't earned our skepticism.
yeah.
So, I want to play devil's advocate. Personally, I don't give a shit. I don't have a dog in the fight. I've never
Yeah.
played a God of War game. I don't really care.
And then you end the argument there.
Yeah.
And that's why they
That's
did this.
why.
But I think the answer, this is the internet, right? It could be a 10% gripe, but it's cranked to 1,000, right? It's just the internet. They're going to find
Yeah.
a way to. We know nothing about the game. The game actually looks cool. It looks like it's going to play exactly like a God of War game.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like this little chafe. It's topical, so a lot of the big content creators just soundboard it to get all the clicks and views, and it sells. Let me play devil's advocate because I think the answer is in what you said. You had a very reasonable, neutral take, but you said it yourself. I would have rather have had a Kratos game, and I think that fundamentally is actually the gripe. Now, they want to put a face and a name and a gender on it, whatever. But I think fundamentally we live in a world where it's finite resources. We can't, like, this Santa Monica team only has so much time and so much resources and so many developers. So they spent all this time, years developing it to make this. And it's like, you even said yourself last time, it's like, it's not necessarily a day one. Well, guess what? Like, if it was Kratos, day one, blindly, I'm pre-ordering it. That's the kind of shit that kills these studios. And I think that's what a lot of these people, like, to translate for them, that's the stuff that burdens them. It's like, fuck, you just lost 1 million sales, 2 million sales on day one. Maybe it ends up being really great, but there's a lot of skepticism now built in and all this bad publicity. You just fucking made a Kratos game. Now, I kind of am against this argument because, like, I like seeing studios iterate and create new things, but they didn't kind of do that because you can't have it both ways. You can't have your foot in it and say, "What's this new IP?" which is how they're talking about it, and then put the fucking title God of War on it. So you don't get to have it both ways, okay? You don't get to claim it's God of War, and I think that. If I'm trying to be a good faith actor and make their argument for him, again, I don't give a fuck. I think that's the gripe is this is the kind of shit that kills studios because the game sells 75% of what it could have, and we're going to have a slower process to recovering. And then the studio has to learn their fucking mistake, learn from their mistake, and go from there. I'm not even going to sit there and be like, well, the voice actress is hotter than the character. It's like, this bitch just died. Okay, she's in fucking prison. Like, she's not going to be smoking hot. Maybe she's going to go shower off and be this awesome thing that you could goon to or whatever. Like, that's such a weird fucking framing to me. But to me, if I was making their argument for them, I think that's where the fundamental gripe is that it's not going to do as well. It's going to hurt the studio, and it might hurt the chances of developing further God of War games down the line.
So Malachi said, I think they should have done an Atreus game. It feels like a cash grab.
Okay. This feels like a cash grab because I feel like if they just printed Kratos, that's a cash grab because that just sells. That just wins game a year.
I actually have a different. So I respect your argument a lot, and I also see Dylan's point. My take on it is it actually is not as big of an issue as the internet makes it seem it is. I think it's actually these are just very vocal minorities that are talking, and what I equate it to is Ghost of Yote. When that came out, it was the same exact argument. People were like super upset because they didn't like the actor that was portraying her. They were mad that it was seemingly going woke because it was like a female. It was a whole thing. The game outperformed Ghost of Tsushima.
Did it really?
Yeah, it sold more in the first 2 months than Ghost of Tsushima sold in like a year or something like that. So, like, yes, it was very vocal, but I think that it's actually not even as big.
Another case of that.
I think it's just not even as big as an issue as people seem it. There's a lot more people that are just lurkers than there are commenters.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think there are definitely some examples of them doing it where it has hurt the studio significantly.
For sure.
But I think you're absolutely right too.
This is significant enough though.
And I also don't think you should pander like the same way that these people could be like, well, they're pandering to this woke audience. Well, by only giving you fucking double D, goon material. I don't even know what else it's called. Just like hentai porn that you're playing, like then you're pandering to that audience and that political club too. So like you're pandering to somebody at some point. Just make a good fucking game.
Do you think if she was like just like smoking hot,
like Stellar Blade?
Yeah. Then you're right though. Then it would be a completely different side of it, being like, oh really? Like you can't have a character
that looks normal
more than just who they look like.
So you're pandering to some audience. And I think the audience is dudes wanting to play a video game, and they're probably going to like the hot chick anyway.
There's still going to be an outcry, though. And same thing, I don't think it'll matter. I think the game will sell, and it'll sell based on its merits. Even Last of Us 2 People have talked all about how that game was terrible because it, killed off Joel and all that. That game still sold significantly well. Like, the reasons that these things keep happening is because they're not as big of issues as social media would have you believe they are. It's all like,
Yeah.
it's all capture. Like, you get on and then you see something, you interact with it once, and then it forces you into this weird realm where all you ever
It's an
can't
echo chamber.
escape it, and it's just, that's why we've experienced it with just the three of us. Where we've come in and be like, man, I've seen nothing but this about whatever topic it is, and I know I've said that, and then you've been like, oh, I haven't read that discourse at all,
Yeah.
and then I realized, oh, it's just our algorithms fucking with
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Like making us see certain things because it knows it'll get a reaction out of us.
I
And
know.
that's what happens with everything. Can't trust anything that you're getting sucked into online. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Reno Astro says, I don't know, after the Ragnarok Atreus section, people might have been more up in arms. I could see that too.
Yeah, I've seen that argument almost universally. Like, they definitely didn't want an Atreus game. Like, I've
Yeah.
seen that, and so in my mind, it's like, just fucking make a God of War game, you know?
Yeah.
So whatever. That's the end of that's kind of like, if I'm making that argument for them, I think that fundamentally, I think people think that this is going to hurt the studio. It's not going to make as much money, and it's going to ultimately mean less God of War content with Kratos for
I
them.
can respect your argument because it's easy to buy into. Like, yes, like Dylan said it, I feel it. Like, we just want more Kratos.
Yeah.
When I go online though, like, that's not the argument that I'm reading a lot, and I think maybe that they're
Because these people are
manifesting
70
it.
IQ
Yeah,
points.
they're manifesting it negative. Like, they're blaming her,
Yeah.
like, being ugly, which is crazy because that lady is not ugly. Like, she just looks like a human being,
Yeah.
and like
Well, that's the thing too. You mean in the game?
in the game,
Yeah.
but also in real life.
In real life, she's
Yeah.
a smoke show.
Yeah.
Like, and that's part of this crowd's complaint is just make her as hot as she is. And then I seen 15 posts with like voice actors that are way hotter than their in-game counterpart. Like, you go through this list, you're like, yeah, they're all attractive, and some of them are horrible examples. You're like, is that person not? I also think when you animate somebody, it's fucking hard.
Well, and from what I've seen with those arguments about, look how hot she is, most of those photos are from like 10 years ago.
yeah.
And it's like she's
like,
40
she is
now.
43 in real life,
Like-
or whatever age.
I did read something that men sexual appeal to women peaks around what age do you think? If you had to guess.
47.
40.
It is 40. Yeah.
I've
It's
seen a lot
older.
of people like
I'd
So-
love to do that with men. I wonder
that
what
plays
women's...
into it a lot too. Like, guys, when it's a male protagonist in both movies, games, whatever, it is much easier for them to get away with being like gruff looking and like dirty.
Yeah, like
and
Kratos
old.
looks like a 45-year-old dad,
But-
well, I mean,
because
yoked.
Kratos, no one has ever brought up that Kratos doesn't look like, fucking Jacob from Twilight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
right.
like, they get away with more than women do for sure. Like,
I need Kratos with a BBL.
yeah, like,
He needs to be model level quality.
Yeah.
and also generally guys in Hollywood, even, they can go a lot longer and still be like studs. And like, everyone kind of just accepts that, like, the older, like Brad Pitt.
Mm-hmm.
The dude's like 60 and people still look at him like he's the man,
Yeah.
It's less common with women to be able to get that old and have that
But-
reverence.
And look at it at the end of the day, we're part of the problem because we're here still talking about it. See,
True.
it's like there's not much to talk about the game because it's not here, so you can't talk
Yeah.
about how it plays. So what do you talk about? The lowest common denominator, which is boobs.
What I will say, we did get to see gameplay, and I think it looks cool.
I think it looks like a
they-
God of War game.
They added the jump button.
Is that a big deal for God of War?
Well, God of War 2018 and Ragnarok had no jump.
Jesus.
It was like he would jump automatically, like when you
Yeah.
got to an edge. But now you have the jump because the first games, like
It was all platformer.
it was all jump. Like
Yeah.
you would air juggle people, and it looks like this one's a lot closer to that. And I was surprised by how much gameplay there was too. Like they came out with like This was the first we heard of the game. They're like, all right, let's play
Did
the
you
first
see they
20
already
minutes of the
released,
game.
behind the scenes motion capture?
He's
Yeah,
in the box.
What's his name?
Quaid.
The guy from The Boys.
Uh,
The
Dennis
voice?
Quaid's son.
Dennis Quaid's son. Forget
Jack
his name.
Quaid.
Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid.
He plays the cube, and so in the motion capture, he has this like giant square PVC thing hanging around him, and he's like
Interesting.
walking.
They motion captured that,
Almost all games are motion captured now.
but for a cube like that, you don't need. That
Yeah,
seems
because he has to
weird.
Well-
move in real space.
And it's the performance that, like, what they're trying to get is like so that Deborah Ann Wool can talk
They
to
want an actor.
the cube.
Yeah.
They
right?
want not just an inanimate object there, because I guess they could probably get away with just voice acting that instead of like performance capturing it. But if you're trying to get like a good story across, I feel like an actor plays better off of
Another
like
actor
an actual person there than
Well,
imagining.
than
You know,
a tennis ball.
That's interesting. I saw a lot of people shitting all over the cube thing, and I think it's personally, I think it's kind of fucking stupid too. But at the end of the day, we know nothing. This
Yeah.
cube could morph into like an absolute demon that you can throw yourself into and operate at like a colossal or something.
Yeah.
You know, we have no idea. So
No.
it was interesting enough. You know, like I don't know. I feel like a lot of the people screaming online are not God of War players.
So, before we move on from God of War, the rumor is that the cube is Merlin, and the sword might be Excalibur.
Oh, the
I don't
sword
know about
looks
that. That would be
lame
a-
as shit if it's Excalibur.
I don't think it's Excalibur,
That'd
but
be a
yeah, that
crazy
sword
kind
looks
of weird
lame.
lore to pull in.
right.
Like,
that sword is way too lame to be the.
Well,
Excalibur.
it looks more. The sword looks more Asian.
Yeah, it's like very thin.
Yeah.
man, you know what would be cool? Like just a proper King Arthur game. That would be cool.
Well, then, so because that rumor started this whole discourse of people like, well, King Arthurian legend wouldn't really fit in a God of War game. God of War is about religions,
And they're arguing over something that isn't even probably going to happen.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's just
How
so
could they do
interesting because
this?
it's like the legend.
This is the fan base we're dealing
Yeah,
with.
the mythology wouldn't fit in a game about mythology, huh?
like where we make shit up.
But it's not good enough.
I've attacked Kronos' toenail.
Yeah,
All right, to defeat it.
but Excalibur, that we're going a
No,
little too far there.
Way too far. What are you doing?
That's not
Yes.
religious.
this is
Don't
a
step
world
on my lore.
that's grounded in reality. I do not want it to get too fantastic.
It's crazy.
Jesus. I want to go through a couple of the other ones. Alien Isolation 2
I was
It
going to
looks
actually
sick.
bring that up next also.
looks pretty interesting. So many horror games.
Yeah.
So many horror
Until
games.
Dawn 2. What else?
That genre is thriving. It's a lot of like weird
There's
shit.
that one still from it was from the PlayStation.
Right.
There was one that was so
Code
gory.
Veronica.
There was one that was so gory that like it turned my stomach. Snoop Dogg one.
Code Veronica.
The new Mario game.
Mm-hmm. That was the
so
one.
gory.
Yep.
Yeah, Code Veronica.
Some kind of mech game.
Gen Atlas. So that one's exciting because it's by the same studio that did Shadow Colossus, Last Guardian. Ico.
I love
Is Gen
Shadow of the
Atlas the Snoop
Colossus.
Dogg one?
Huh?
Gen
No.
Atlas is the which one is that one?
That's the robot one with the robot
Oh.
head.
The Snoop Dogg one.
Yeah.
What was the Snoop Dogg one?
That one's Stranger Than Heaven.
Oh yeah, that one was weird as shit. Yeah, that was a super gory one. Yeah, no, not for me.
No, that wasn't. No,
Wasn't it?
no, that one's like there's like no. It's like by the same people who made Yakuza.
Oh,
So it's
it's like gangs and stuff, right?
But
And
it's
they-
like
they tell the story too.
comedy.
Oh,
Yeah.
lame.
I didn't actually like The Last Guardian that much, to be honest with you.
No,
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was interesting enough. I've never played through it again. Have no desire to. But I thought
Yeah.
the process of like training this creature, and it was actual. So it was this giant creature, and how they programmed it was like a real dog that it would actually like. If you reinforce behaviors, it would do those behaviors, and if you didn't reinforce them, it wouldn't do them. And so like you could reinforce the wrong behaviors accidentally.
To me, it just felt tedious when I was like, I didn't
yeah.
need this in the game.
Training an AI.
Yeah, and this was like a long time ago, so that was like really cool that it did that.
Yeah.
but it felt more like a cool tech demo. Like I didn't really need that in my game. So I'm not like, I'm not like a day one just because it's from that studio or anything. Exodus, of course, is the one that you guys already know I've been so excited about. And so
Fable.
Fable looks good.
They announced the villain of it, Haley Atwell, Captain Carter.
Captain Carter.
They had
Teenage
didn't show
Mutant Ninja
much.
Turtles.
Yeah, Last Ronin from Platinum Games. Platinum Games is good. They make some good games. So I think that's a perfect fit for the type of combat that Ninja Turtles have.
Yeah.
There was Stellar Blade, Blood Rain. I know you guys are hyped for that one. I was.
Wolverine.
Wolverine looked dope. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I'm okay with it being a linear story.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people upset that it's not an open world anymore, but like I don't think Wolverine needs to exist in like a sandbox. I think he's the type of character that you could just do levels and that would be just as fun.
Yeah, you could tell a
Be a
story.
lot of fun.
I'm tired of everything going to the open world.
Like I
I
don't
don't
think
need it.
open worlds are cool, but like not everything has to be an
No.
open world sandbox. Like
Sometimes it is
Yeah.
just fun to be able to like go power through
Level
a
to
level
level.
and
Right.
have it designed with a very strict vision to deliver an experience to you. Sometimes I feel like open world is a cheesy design thing if you don't make it as rich as possible.
right.
You know what I mean? Like if you just throw together a shitty open world, then it just feels empty and not interesting. So
One, it's not a game announcement because we've seen it, but they announced that the demo for a game called Onimusha was like it released, and the game comes out in September, so it's quite a ways off. I played it, downloaded it. It makes me miss demos, man. Like to be able to actually play a game before you buy it for free and tell if you like it or not.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a shame because Steam does that for you, but
Well. Well,
Steam also has family play, so like if you
Like
bought
before
it-
the game comes out though.
Oh, well, that's no.
They used to do that all the time. They would release the demo like a month before a game came out.
or you get the demo disc
You,
with
like,
a bunch
play
of
the
different
first-
demos.
Really?
Yeah, I
Wow.
used to get that with like it came with like it was some magazine. You'd get a demo disc and it had like 10 different games, and you pop it in and you.
And
play
you
the
want that
demo.
feature? You pay for early access now.
Yeah.
You want
That's
3
just
days
like-
early
Beta
$50.
now, but there used to be games that would like come out like with demo
As a
before.
teaser,
Yeah,
yeah.
a little
Yeah.
teaser.
And I think especially
what
for
that
single player
benefited them.
games.
How did that benefit them at all?
That was, I guess, just like the old version of a beta test.
Yeah, but
But-
they
They didn't really change
At that
the
point-
game. It was more just like a teaser, I
Marketing.
guess, to get you to play it.
that's so funny that
Yeah.
was
It was
a
always
marketing
something
tactic because
Super basic.
why a month? Think about it. Game Informer and these other like magazines would come out, about a month
With an exclusive.
and they could write a story about your game. Like,
Yeah.
oh, the demo was sick. I can't wait for the full game. And all of a sudden, but now it's like that does nothing but hurt your game.
Yeah.
I think as far as Onimusha, I think it did help with me wanting to purchase it, being able to play it, because the last Onimusha game came out on like PS2, PS3, and so we haven't had one for a while. And I played it when I was a little kid, but I did not remember anything. And by getting to play it, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like this.
I remember like the one that stands out to me as far as like a demo actually getting me to buy a game was probably Skate 3. Like a couple months before that game came out, they released this demo where you only could play in one little section for 20 minutes. Once the 20 minutes is up, the demo ended, and then you had to start over. But basically, they let you do whatever you wanted in that section for 20 minutes. And I remember that did get me hyped. Like that was enough for me to like be like excited for the game and for it to come out. And so like I think if it's done like tactfully enough,
Yeah.
like that, like where you get 20 minutes, but all progress is lost at the end of 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, this one was a little short section that it seemed like I would say within the first quarter of the game, but not the first mission. It was some like right after.
So you're not doing a tutorial. And
You're
then,
not
like,
doing a
that's it.
tutorial, but it's still they tune down the enemies to make them easier for you. There's still like tutorial of like how to block, parry, and then right one like they give you little story tidbits. You face a boss, and then you don't face the big boss that's been teased the whole mission, but you face a boss, and then it's like, okay, buy the game come September. I'm like, oh fuck.
But we've delayed it enough.
Yes,
All right, the big
the
one.
main course.
45 minutes of delaying. Actually, that flew by. I didn't realize we talked about. Billy probably noticed
Every
we
minute
talked that
was
long.
torture for.
What were you excited about?
Yeah,
What did you see?
I was there for one reason and one reason only. And that reason is Guild Wars 3.
Woo!
This franchise has positioned my way of thinking in life. It's that impactful. Just kidding.
Changed who I am.
Before I go on a rant, if you're just tuning in, if you give us a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, it helps us. We came out with a custom thumbnail today. We're putting a little more effort into the stream. Coming up with topics,
An immense amount of
subjects,
effort.
not just
Yeah.
the boys riffing. I think year 7 is going to be the year that we turn it around. No, to get into the thanks, Victory. Yeah, it's like the easiest thing to do in today's world, and we like never do. We just like blast the same
Yeah.
image.
Hey,
Um,
all I'll say is a thumbnail that we use every week. No AI. It's all
handmade.
real handmade. Support local, real humans.
local, like you went to graphic design shop.
It took me like 5 seconds on like Canva,
Canva, yeah.
before Canva integrated AI into everything.
Guild Wars 3. I went into Summer Games Fest just over the moon excited. Guild Wars 1 and 2 are some of my favorite games of all time.
Not some, I would say, are.
Well,
They
Guild Wars
are.
1's my favorite. Guild Wars 2 is
Some.
close second. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Thanks
Makes
for
sense.
wasting my time and derailing me.
That's what I do.
So there was some rumors
There
that
was some rumors. So what they did,
it was going to be announced.
it was very interesting the way that they've gone about the marketing. So they went and sent all the kind of content creators for Guild Wars 2 like a secret briefing, and they all opened it up on stream live together at the same time and talked about it. And it was raise your banners at Summer Games Fest. And we're like, oh shit, is this going to be Guild Wars 3 announcement? So we went into it, didn't know when it was going to go off. I think it was around closer to the end. I think
Seemed
is
like
when
halfway point.
Yeah, close to the halfway point, closer to the end. Kind of different than what they've done historically, which is I think they've done like some of their announcement stuff in like the pre-show, so not even like the real show because they just have such tight marketing budget. So it's good to see some juicing from a marketing standpoint. They had a developer live stream today to kind of talk about the overall state of the game of like Guild Wars 1 and 2 and 3 and now and what they're hoping to do with this series. So I'll save Guild Wars 3 for last. I guess I'll talk about what they're doing with Guild Wars 1. Guild Wars 1, they're committed to this Reforged mode, so they're coming out with a mobile app later on. And so Guild Wars 1's dropping on mobile devices like later this summer, I think, which is just the most ridiculous thing ever because this new studio, is barely been on the trail for like a little bit. And it's kind of amazing at what they've been able to accomplish already in such a short time. Like the idea that they're porting a 20-something-year-old game to mobile in this little bit of time is really, really amazing. Guild Wars 2, they are committed to they're taking an 18-month kind of reprieve. And what I mean by that is they're not coming out like right now they're committed to doing yearly expansions. So that's what we've been getting. Going forward, the next 18 months, they're committed to building out stuff that sets up Guild Wars 3. And so that's sort of the timeline. Now, that doesn't mean Guild Wars 3 is coming out in 18 months. I don't think so. Maybe I expect it to come out sometime in 2028, but we don't know when. But what they're doing is in Guild Wars 2, they're going to go back. They're going to introduce what's called Hall of Monuments, which is this awesome feature that I loved about Guild Wars 1. It's a way to introduce the next game. So they're coming out with this thing called Hall of Monuments. And what you do is there's like achievements that you can go and earn and participate in. And maybe there's some opportunity for achievements that you already have kind of counting towards this. But you basically can go earn rewards in both Guild Wars 2 that then translate into Guild Wars 3. So things like titles, things like unique weapon skins, things, just silly things that basically set you up and prepare you to play Guild Wars 3. And they're very minor. It's not like, oh, I have this advantage or whatever. No, it's nothing like that. But it is cool to feel like your progress is building into something. And one of the cool things that they're coming out with from a development standpoint of content and features is they're going back, and each like quarterly update, maybe even more often than that. Honestly, it might have to be like more like a month and a half, 2 months. They're going back and addressing different parts of the game. So they're going to start with the core game. They're going and fixing some old bugs that have always existed, and they're updating the final fight, which has always been very political because it's so lame. Like, you're setting up to fight this Elder Dragon Zaitan, and then basically the final mission is like you go and stand on a cannon and just
Like
and you're like,
Like
this is
your
what the
gimmick-
game is built
A
to.
gimmick fight.
Yeah.
purely like story, but no actual gameplay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and it's such a cool setting, but and some of the tech that's used in it is really cool. But they actually talked about it for the first time ever. They didn't even have that ready until like a week before launch.
Huh.
And it was because some of the technology, like they were running into issues with, and so they didn't have that for launch. So they barely got it out, and it definitely underdelivered. But the dungeon, so the last mission takes place in a dungeon, and there's like a story path, and then like 4 or 5 paths that you can do, like that are actually like the dungeon that you could like repeat 100 times. Is awesome. It's the Dungeon of Ara. It's the city of Ara, which is where the Guild Wars 3 is going to be taking place.
Yep.
And so we're starting there. They're going through the core game. So there's going to be this massive resurgence of players coming back in, and part of them going back and fixing, they're pumping some of the rewards. Like I said, giving like unique achievements for that translate from the Hall of Monuments from Guild Wars 2 into Guild Wars 3. So a lot of the player base is going to be focused in these areas. And so they're starting with the core game. They're moving into Heart of Thorns, Path of Fire, End of Dragons, Soto, Jantier Wilds, Visions of Eternity. Like, they're going through this full journey of the game. And so I'm really excited to do it because I didn't play a lot of these expansions right at launch.
Right.
And so they're going back and kind of fixing this and updating some of these fights because there's been power creep in the game. So some of the original like awesome quest lines, there's really no quests in Guild Wars 2, but these stories and like dynamic events are just so cheese now because they've been power crept out of existence to where they're going to actually be difficult, and some of the boss fights are going to be interesting, and they're going to add mechanics to some of the open
Rebalancing
world
everything
stuff.
pretty much.
Yeah, as they go through the world.
Facelift.
So it's going to be really interesting to see. And then once they're done with that 18-month period where they go through all that old content, they are actually going to go back to their annual expansion for Guild Wars 2. So Guild Wars 2, and they committed to it. It sounds like they're committing to this content plan for like the next 10 years and beyond.
Yeah.
So Guild Wars 2 could probably have up to 7 or 8 more expansions, which is just kind of amazing to think about. So they're fully committed to supporting that game. Guild Wars 1 is Take-Two Studios, I think is the name of it, or not Take-Two. Second Week or some weird name, but they're this little studio that's doing big things with Guild Wars 1. They're talking about potentially releasing brand new content, a style of content that's never been added to Guild Wars 1. So people are thinking raids, which raids in Guild Wars 1 would wow, like what the hell is happening? So it's like the greatest time to be a fan of the Guild Wars series.
Yeah.
Some notes that I wanted to share from their developer live stream today, that they didn't really talk too much about Guild Wars 3. I was a little disappointed in that because I thought from what they had said previously that they were going to kind of show some insights. But I'm very glad they didn't, because the live stream today was rough. They had so many audio issues. Like, it was clearly they were coming from another meeting and didn't have a chance to like really set up and prep, and it was kind of sloppy. But Josh Davis, Grouch, the director of Guild Wars 2, was on there, and then Colin Johansson, which is the studio head for Guild Wars ArenaNet, actually, spoke. And some of the things that they talked about is just stuff that the reason why I love ArenaNet. I mean, they started Guild Wars as a response to WoW, which is like, hey, they're taking all your money, and like there's a better way of going about doing this. And so they're still standing on all their principles as a studio, and I love seeing it. I love seeing Colin's vision for this game because it's so direct. You can hear the passion and the clarity in which he speaks about what he's driving the studio to build. So, couple things first. No subscription fee and no hidden subscription fee like a stupid ass battle pass. In fact, he was like talking about it, memeing on it like this is like the cancer of the industry because players don't think that they have a fucking subscription fee, but then you add all these weird things and it's like, okay, well, this is a subscription fee.
Yeah.
If I'm going to play a game and I want these rewards, I have to buy this thing. And so it's a subscription fee. They're adding a new World v World map. Some interesting things since announcing Guild Wars 3. Daily active users is up 40%. So there's been a massive resurgence of players. And they actually saw the highest number of new players of all time, like net new players on Saturday when they made this announcement.
Yeah.
So like day one players. And then their last expansion actually had the most players that returned after not having played in over a year. So the model for Guild Wars 2 is actually appearing to be very stable, which I wouldn't have thought that once they announced Guild Wars 3.
Right.
But they've done a very good job of calming each community. Like you've got all this new, like if you're a fan of Guild Wars, we're eating good right now because you've got Guild Wars 1 coming out with new content. Like what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
They just came out with 2 dungeons. I've been playing those. Like that's so much fun. Guild Wars 2, we're in the middle of an expansion release right now of Visions of Eternity. Like we're waiting on the last chapter to fall. So there's all this story content like coming out and the new worlds and stuff that they're building. So that's awesome stuff. And then now you've got this thing that you can, be really excited for. And I think they're really looking towards what WoW is doing right now with like WoW Classic, and then like WoW Retail WoW. Like Seasons of Discovery and stuff that like WoW has done because there's multiple versions of like the game that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they can kind of during these like content droughts, if you want to call it that, like for example, a Guild Wars 2 player that comes back, the way that they do these expansions, they do quarterly releases. They're big chunks. And so they come out with this expansion, right? And then so there's like, I don't know, 10 to 40 hours of content, depending on like how much you're gonna engage it. Like just from what they release, not all the other stuff that you can fetch goals and stuff like that. But so people like the crazy gamers will just blast it on day one and be like, I'll see you in 3 months. And that's kind of like the meme of the
Right.
game. Well, the cool thing is now each game is getting some love.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you can, the content drought, if they do it right, will be minimal, and they can keep you in the ArenaNet ecosphere of like, hey, you're playing all these games. We're coming out with all this
Always
content.
be playing our games.
Yeah. And from ArenaNet's perspective, like they have not been the way that they handle monetization is one of the least toxic ways I've ever seen a studio do it. There's so many opportunities for them to absolutely just squeeze you, and
Sound effects.
they have not done that too much. In
Yeah,
some
I'm not
things,
not really an MMO guy. Like I've dabbled here and there, but definitely not to the extent that like MMO players do. But I will say that I've always respected that about ArenaNet, their approach to how they charge their fan base. No other major MMO developers do it that way.
Yeah.
They
I know.
all just bleed their fan base dry. Not saying they don't deliver the content their fans are looking for, but it always comes at a price. And ArenaNet has been historically very generous in their approach.
I love it.
I did want to bring us back to, before we get too far off of it, the actual announcement for Guild Wars 3. Like, so Summer Games Fest, because I feel like that's probably the most me and Kyle can talk about. 'Cause
Yeah, like what the trailer
Yeah,
was and stuff.
So the trailer itself, it had a
I
bear.
watched it probably 30 times, and that's not an exaggeration. So
So you probably got to memorize.
yeah,
It starts
Alright,
with
it
this
opens.
creature.
in a land. No,
You redo the whole thing.
But it showed what 3 playable races so far.
Well, so it's entirely up for speculation.
Yeah.
All we're doing is ripping off of this. People, I think what they're expecting is so on the actual tapestry that where things are being woven into, it appears that there's going to be 4 playable races.
Okay.
It looked like they maybe had 3, but people are speculating that one of them is actually a dwarf. So maybe a dwarf, maybe not, but it looks like there's an Azura. But before they go underground, so they're like hairy and they look different. It's kind of interesting. And then a Coden, which is like a big tanky bear looking thing, which is like a huge beloved race in the Guild Wars 2 lore. And then human, of course. And I think what people are thinking is like maybe the Azura is the small little character that you can play, and that's fine. And then what people are wanting is the like the high fantasy elf. Some version of, I don't know what elves look like in Guild Wars 2 lore. I don't know how they're gonna play that out, but some kind of high fantasy race like an elf, because
Okay.
almost so the most common race gender combo in Guild Wars 2 is female human. That's like by far that's like the meta. If you're going for fashion, they call it fashion wars too, and if you're in for fashion, like you're a female human. And so, but one of the most common skins for female human is elven ears. So that's, I think
So
the
they
player
just
base really
Think they're gonna make it official. Not just
Yeah.
fashion.
some kind of, maybe it's like a Sylvari thing, but they're not. They can't be Sylvari because they're like a new race of Guild Wars 2, like they just spawned.
In Guild Wars 1, they were
so-
they were seedlings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, basically.
So they just couldn't even be in the lore.
the Great Tree hadn't spawned them.
Yeah.
So, and this whole game takes place 1,200 years before
And
Guild Wars 1.
for all the players like Dylan and I, ArenaNet is now moving into the console game
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
So
Crossplay with the PS5.
PS5.
PS5,
Not
do you guys
Xbox
have
was
it wish
not there.
listed? You guys should wish list it. It'll help with the numbers.
It'll help the numbers. I'll
Wish
do that.
list it
I
on
have to look. I don't
PS5.
even know if it's on there yet. But
Add it on Steam. It helps because ArenaNet does not. They spend they have a shit ass marketing budget. So if you can have a chance, you listen to this and you're even interested, just wish list it somewhere. It'll help pump those numbers up. Because it's a grassroots movement, man. Feel part of it.
grassroots.
Grassroots.
Gotta help the little
Um,
guy.
Yeah, it's PS5, and they've kind of talked a lot. It's interesting. They've really mentioned quite a few times this idea of a heavy movement-based combat system, or momentum, momentum-based combat system. I
They've
have
already-
no idea what that really means.
To me, they've already. So if you look at just the differences between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 alone, and me at just surface level, I've played both, not in any great extent, but you can definitely feel the difference in movement and gameplay, and just the fact that you have jumping puzzles in Guild Wars 2. I think that Guild Wars 3, if I'm going to take out what they say face value, it's going to feel as different movement style as Guild Wars 2 did to Guild Wars 1. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be very like, I'm thinking fluid, rapid movements, jumping. I'm thinking
Well, they showed the mount
all of
system.
that's going to be a part of the gameplay. I think it's going to be a very fluid system. I still don't think it's not, it's not going to be like Elden Ring,
Yeah.
but it's going to be I think it's a lot of the movement is going to be a gameplay, like it's going to be like a tool.
Dynamic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be a dynamic.
I think so. Guild Wars 1 was a system that was heavily built around skills, and then Guild Wars 2 was heavily built around. They call it. It's a meme in the community, and Colin mentioned it again. The joy of movement. That was their singular goal in accomplishing with the movement and combat system, which that's kind of a really cool value to have. Like you want to have fun while you interact with the systems or in fight and have a combat. And I love that because you guys know how much I love Guild Wars 2's combat system. But I miss Guild Wars 1's skill system. Guild Wars 2, they did a very weird design choice that I still don't really like, which is your skills are tied to your weapon,
Yeah.
and you only have 2 weapons on. Elementalists only allowed 1 because you have the different attunements. So you're really tied to like what your weapon type is, and you within like the first 10 minutes of gameplay, you unlock like all your skills for that weapon, and so then you're just using those same skills for like ever.
I don't know if they're gonna do
Yeah, it's
that,
lame. Yeah, no, I don't think that.
Yeah.
I think they learned
but
a
I
lesson
do
with that.
think that in Guild Wars 3, because of the fact that it's on console as well, I don't think it's ever gonna. It's definitely not gonna be like reminiscent of Guild Wars 1 skill system. I just don't see how you get that to work on console.
On console.
So just the mere fact that they said that it's going to be on console, I do think is it's not going to be like completely alien to Guild Wars 1, but I do think it's going to be play significantly differently.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have. I think it's gonna. I personally, this is from if I glean everything of what they're talking about. I think it's going to be because they talk about where you're really rewarded for your positioning, and that's a very interesting framework that they talk about there, because that to me means Guild Wars 1, you have a resource system like your energy management, and you've got these skills that have pretty high cooldowns. You have to manage your skill bar. If you blow your cooldowns, then you're like you have high damage, and then you got a long period where you're just kind of managing recharge timers. So you've got to manage that, and you've got your resources, so you can't just spam things on repeat.
Yeah.
Guild Wars 2, you had no energy management system. It was if that thing's off cooldown, press the button.
Use it.
Press the button. Press the button. I actually think what they're going to go for here is exactly what I've been asking for, which is a less spammy, more dynamic, decision-based combat system where it really rewards a very particular style of play, and when you're choosing to use certain abilities, so you're not just pressing it on repeat. It's this dynamic, fluid thing where you see an action and you have a reaction, and it's very action based. It's position based. It's fluid combat. It's movement heavy, intense, but it's less actions per minute than Guild Wars 2, which is press all of the buttons as fast as you can, rotate through that weapon set, change weapon set, blast through those, swap back to the weapon set, where you're just like, you can't translate that to a controller, 1. And 2, I don't think a lot of people really like that, because there are boss fights in Guild Wars 2 that, they're open world fights that take like 10 minutes sometimes. And they have the mechanics going on during that. But that doesn't feel good to be fucking for 10 minutes, and my mouse doesn't appreciate it, right? So I think it's going to be a hybrid between the two. I think they're going to take that joy of movement system and blend it into a much slower actions per minute type combat system that relies on positioning. And here's the other thing that I think, and they've announced this. Guild Wars 2, they went all out for the spectacle. It was like, hey, we're going to have these meta events, which are cool. They nailed the open world so well. Like, hey, we're going to come out with Tequatl. We're going to come out with these Triple Trouble, whatever it is, events where you join 80 players, whatever, how many players can fit on a map. I think it's like 80 or something, 100, whatever. And you fight this boss. And that's really cool, this experience in some regard. But after some time, it becomes fucking face roll, because you're just part of this blob, and you can't even really measure your impact, and you're pressing your buttons, and you're
You're
like
just seeing just numbers everywhere. And
Yeah.
You don't even know which ones are yours.
well, you only see your damage in that game, so like you don't see everybody
Okay.
else's, but you're just part of a blob.
Gotcha.
And there's so many boons and status effects that people are applying to you that you don't really die. And you can't see anything happening underneath you because everybody has their character stacked, and so you're not in the combat. So it takes their great combat system and just kind of tortures it into this weird thing. It's a really cool spectacle, and it's fun if you want to play in like big groups. Like, people like that, playing with other people.
Yeah.
But it diminishes their combat system. One of the things that they're talking about with Guild Wars 3 is they want to get to smaller groups. Which again, I guess let me take a step back before I dive into this whole topic. They are. I appreciate this so much from Colin because it's exactly what I want, which is why have all these MMOs failed in the last 12 years? It's because they're trying to make the next WoW.
Yeah.
Move on past that. You got to iterate. Got to bring something new to the table. And so that was like the first thing that he said is this is the next generation of MMOs. So how do we do that? You still have all the social systems, but in Guild Wars 2, it's hard to measure your impact. I mean, there's DPS meters, but whatever. It's hard to measure your impact. How do you do that? How do you make the weight of your decisions feel palatable? You put smaller groups together.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the issues that Guild Wars 2 has is they have these things called like convergences and stuff, and they're like 50-man content.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get 50 players because these games have hundreds of thousands of players playing them. But what the fuck? Like when you're all wailing on a boss, I don't feel like I did much. I'm not participating. Yeah. And raids are 10-man content. And that is pretty good. You feel like if you die, it hurts your team, especially if you're a support role of some type. So like it hurts, like you feel that, but it's also, it can, like some of the fights, like it's not really that difficult. Like it starts to lose it.
Everyone
and then
has
dungeons,
a role to play, but it's not quite as like if it was like a 6-man raid. That's much more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Guild Wars 1 is 8-person, which I actually think is kind of a secret like perfect spot. 8 people, because then you have like your 1 or 2 healers. I don't think Guild Wars 3 is going to probably have a Holy Trinity. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that. But let's say you have like your 1 or 2 support people, and then like 6 role players. I think that's kind of the sweet spot. But the argument is the lower you go, the better. And so I think we're going to see a lot of like the game balanced around 5-man content and driven around that. And it's going to be open world. But I'm just really intrigued to see how they deliver this experience. Like when you think MMO, you think massive events and all this stuff. And a lot of these games honestly try to copy Guild Wars 2, what they've done with their meta events, because they're so damn good. But it just becomes just ball. You're just a fucking ball. And that's not that fun.
Right.
Unless you're like super into that community. And so I'm really curious to see how they deliver this.
So going back to the combat system, I wonder, because as an outsider, the thing that stood out to me was the trailer showed the mount system very heavily. I wonder if the mount's going to be a big part of combat. Do you think?
I think that's part of what they're talking about with the momentum.
Right.
So you're gonna get on this, and they talked about a little bit this Veil Warden. I think that it's like a spiritual being that's attached to you. So I think you're going to be flying in and out of combat with this mount, and maybe you're changing to a different mount. And so I definitely think that the mount system is going to play a heavy hand in the combat and the traversal of the world. And one of the cool things when you're talking about combat is in the trailer, they showed one of the characters climbing up like this stone ridge, like this mountain. And that's one thing that like Guild Wars 2 in the core game and in some of their later expansions, they got a lot better, but verticality was never really a thing because you just basically like, oh, there's a rock. You have to go around it effectively. I think these games and a lot of the combat systems is going to include a lot of verticality, which I think is going to be kind of interesting, where you can have a really great movement system instead of like, hey, I'm going to go over this thing instead of around it, and you can climb everything. And I think that we're going to have one of the best in class movement based systems that we've seen in a very long time with this game. I have full faith in ArenaNet in delivering that.
I did see it said beta in fall 2027.
Mm-hmm. So their betas are pretty cool. They're usually like a weekend. So it's not like it opens up and it's just in there in perpetuity. Again, but this is, Guild Wars 2 came out years ago. So I don't know what their plans are. But I hope that they do wipes. I don't want people to be able to keep their beta characters. I think that's
do like a little reward, like here's a banner.
Yeah, you get a mini pet or something.
Yeah, you participated in the beta.
Get a cool custom hat in game. that you would never wear because it's like, why would I wear a hat?
stupid.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I am so excited for seeing what the next generation of ArenaNet studio
the,
is going to bring. So
The Guild Wars 2 forums right now.
a lot of salty boys.
A lot of salty boys.
Really?
Yeah, because you know what they are? What's so they're trying to doom. They're like
Yeah.
doomers. Like
Doomers
this is
gonna
the end.
doom.
Yeah. This is the end of Guild Wars 2, and I don't know how anything from their announcement.
You've probably seen all it too because you've just been reading up on this. But one of the things I found funny, and this person was making an argument against why they were saying basically that this shouldn't be called Guild Wars 3 because it is so fundamentally different from every Guild War. And I'm like,
You don't even know what the game
you
is.
saw a 2-minute trailer that showed you nothing.
Like not
why are
even
you-
combat.
Like, and you're over here like talking about how like this is so that people are just insane.
Dude,
Sometimes,
Well,
like,
the weirdest one to me is this one. If they ever stop you making content for Guild or doing updates and patching Guild Wars 2, then I'm gonna be so sad because then that means all the time that I put into it is just wasted. What? Like the game is over a decade old. You've
Yeah,
strung out like it's delivering, and then they just committed to providing you another decade
yeah.
of updates. What the hell? What about this announcement could you possibly be
you
upset
being
about?
disrespected as a player.
Yeah,
Some people are so salty.
but
this
to
person goes, the current Guild Wars 3 design has me worried. You don't know what the current Guild Wars 3 design is, and you're
Dude.
already saying it has you worried. Like what?
it's unbelievable the reaction. But it's the people who have like over 20,000 hours that are
Yeah.
the most salty because they're
You'll
like
find that in any fan base. but-
they're somehow 3 is not, and I've heard the craziest shit like I want to be able to bring everything from Guild Wars 2 into Guild Wars 3 so that I can feel like my accomplishments don't just go into the ether. And it's like, no. I don't want to start. One of the most exciting things about starting a new game like this is that everyone's on the same playing field.
Well,
I don't
there's
want to
that-
see that you have 50,000 fucking achievement points.
There's
Right.
the Hall
day
of
one.
Champions or whatever you're talking about.
Hall of Monuments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But I get so, it's so weird that so you got 20,000 hours in a game and your value for that is so fragile that like if they ever stop updating the game, and Arena has been like Guild Wars 1 is still operating.
Right.
Like all of the stuff that you built and got in that game, you can still go and access. Like they've been incredible stewards to not just shutting your game off, right? And deleting everything. That like your value is in the fact that like they have to constantly serve you, and that like that's so fragile.
Yeah. No.
I feel like you're in it for the wrong reasons.
Incredibly unfair to ask a
And
developer
unhealthy.
to do that.
Yeah.
Like, why are you going to ask them to basically spend a good portion of their time designing Guild Wars 3 in a way that you can carry over all your Guild Wars 2 stuff? Like that, it's just like that's ridiculous. Like as a player, they're never going to take away the fact that you earned all of that and you have all those memories and you did all that, but that's a different game. It's a different game.
Yeah.
Same world, same lore, different game. So just treat it as such.
Literally.
Like
It is weird to have this like parasocial relationship with these game developers, and your entire value for that is if they just keep making stuff. Doesn't matter what it is, they could just keep doing, like little bits. I mean, we've had years long content drop from Guild Wars 2. You still played that game. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to help those people.
yeah. The reality is Guild Wars 3 could literally launch as their best title yet, one of the best games of all time. There will never not be that group of people
Yeah.
that's going to complain about.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. We're talking about Guild Wars, but that's any fandom, really. Like fandoms have this weird thing of like the people that care about the products the most are the ones that hurt it the most.
Yep. So with them going back to the original game and updating everything, the question is, you logging in, boys?
Only on my phone. I refuse.
Can I not play Guild Wars 2 on my phone? No.
Why not?
Why not? I actually talked about that today. They had like a 20-minute conversation about how they can't do Guild Wars 2 on a phone. And I'm like,
well,
duh.
I mean, yeah, like unless you
Yeah.
attach a keyboard to it, keyboard mouse, like.
Yeah.
Doesn't make
Well, it's
sense.
like, yeah. Well, I guess it's like the engine limitation. Like they can't port the engine over, and I'm like,
Sure.
duh. Like it's way like maybe in 20 years where we have phone. Like this is a pretty demanding
Your
game.
phone just is a hologram. It's just-
Yeah. So they came out with the minimum specs for the game too. I think you need a 2060 to play it minimum. So definitely approachable if it comes out in a couple years for people to be able to play. It's Unreal Engine 5, which we haven't talked about yet. So
Because everything is now.
it looks like an Unreal Engine 5 game. Like
Yeah.
the aesthetic of the game doesn't have me. It's in-game footage and we haven't seen shit yet. So
Okay. It doesn't look bad, but
it doesn't look bad,
Yeah.
but it's it looks like Unreal Engine 5.
I did go to the website because I was curious what the website had to say. So it said as far as momentum, so glide, ride, leap, and wall run across ore with a one-of-a-kind movement system that transfers your momentum between modes of travel.
Yeah.
And then one thing I did,
Which they have now, like their mount system,
and how you transfer between them.
dude. When Guild Wars 2 came out, their mounts literally World of Warcraft redesigned theirs and copied it. It's so their system is so it feels so good. Their mounts, the best in class.
And then this said, where action RPG combat meets Guild Wars build making.
Where the fuck are you reading that?
The website.
It's literally what I want.
So what I'm wondering, what does action RPG combat mean?
It's a good question because I think
Action
it means a lot.
RPG combat.
Like
it is game. It's like Elden Ring and Skyrim to a lesser extent.
if it's like Elden Ring,
action RPG combat, it's going to be more in depth than that. But
Yeah.
action RPG combat basically means that it's in the moment, constant movement, no turns. Everyone just goes.
Yeah.
And that's what an action RPG is.
It's kind of just like a vague label, right? It's like,
Yeah, so
it's not turn based.
it's not turn based. Everyone can go as they please. If
You have the freedom of choice.
it's not going to be as locked and dialed in as like a true action RPG like Diablo. It's not going to be like that. But I would think that based on what you're described with the movement and stuff like that, it seems like it's going to play more like a much more fluid like Elden Ring. Maybe with more skills and stuff like that. But again, just speculating. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've done nothing.
we have
like-
no clue.
Yeah,
That was just
Read
one
that
sentence.
more time.
So it said, here's the full thing. Master action combat. Master combat system where depth is achieved through strategic skill use, positioning, and movement. Where action RPG combat meets Guild Wars build making, creating a unique combat experience.
Oh, so it's a hybrid of the two.
It's literally what I would. If I could dream it up, it's like give me the freedom over how I want to play the game with the skills that I want to use, and then fucking give me your Guild Wars 2 combat system because it's so.
I would
fucking
love
good.
to see more because they're really selling like this fluidity of movement and stuff. In my head, I'm picturing like this like kind of environment, which I could dig, but this like environment and a feel of where like you just can't like standing still means death,
Mm.
and I like that.
Like you're on
Like,
your mount,
it's
you hop
constantly
off,
dynamic,
you pop a
yeah.
skill, hop back on the mount. You're
Yeah, which again they can tune difficulty wise based on what you're doing because if they're trying to target the smaller player base, then it's like you could have like these like little bosses or or whatever, sweep their leg and it's like that's a heavy attack for if you get
Right.
hit with it and
you gotta jump.
yeah you got to jump over it, climb some wall or whatever. Yeah, and that's
I
why I think
can't wait to equip a giant sword and just smack.
oh dude they have some of the best fantasy realizations of like these professions like
Yeah.
they're going back. I don't know actually if I know this or not, but I think they're going back to like their core race, like the core professions. So
I can't
I
wait
can't
to
wait.
not use a single drop of magic.
Same.
Dude. Yes, it's gonna be good, man.
What? So I
'Cause
mean, we don't know anything.
And real quick, but before we jump off this, in Guild Wars 2, mounts and combat are very segmented. Like you can't mount in combat.
So I wonder if
unless
they're
very
gonna
specific.
marry him.
And I think they're gonna marry it because the
How-
mount system's fantastic.
It'd be cool.
So my thing with that is, how do you? Would you allow people to use skills on the mount?
So I'll give you. I'll answer this with what they've already done in Guild Wars 2. So in Guild Wars 2 with Janthir Wilds, they came out with a Warclaw. It was already there, but it was in PvP. But the Warclaw came to PvE, and it's basically this almost like a giant tiger, but like it's a fucking like war
Saber-tooth?
machine tiger. Like it's massive, thick, and it looks badass. It's like a mystical being, and let's in like some of the fights, you'll be fighting this boss, and you get him to phase. And then in that phase, you have to chain him down so he can't flee away. So then you get on your mount. It's one of the few fights that allow you to get on your mount during combat. And you get on your mount and you have a skill. It's like a tether chain skill. And you throw this chain out and you hook him. And then you have to like strap him down and you like run in circles. And that's like the mounts have skills. All the mounts have skills. So some of this flying mounts, which I hope they don't come out with flying mounts. It destroys traversal. What?
They said glide.
Yeah, gliding is definitely not flying. Gliding is awesome. It's
It's
really cool feature in Guild Wars
falling
2.
with style.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Gliding is one of the coolest things they ever introduced in a Guild Wars 2. But once you add a flying mount, because gliding, you don't go any higher. You
Yeah,
can
you
only
just go down.
And gliding makes it feel so good, if like especially for jumping puzzles, you don't restart. But flying, man, you just skip so much shit because you just go wherever you
You're
want.
just like, all right.
Yep, literally. And so, yeah, I forget where. Oh, so like flying mounts, they have the different things where you can like wall plant, like launch off. Raptors have skills where you're like running on a literal like dinosaur raptor, and you hit this button and you just fucking shoot straight ahead. There's ones that like you're riding a bunny and you can bounce really high, and then each one has like an active combat skills to where you can use it to engage in a fight. So like you're running up on a fight, and then like the raptor, for example, has like a tailspin. So you get into it and you do this quick tailspin, you throw off your mount, and you're right into combat. It's such a
It's
cool
like a
engagement.
dismount attack.
Yes, but you can't re-engage with your mount until you're out of combat.
So I wonder, because what I'm picturing or what I'm wondering in my head is if the mount system is almost like, if it's going to be as detailed as off the mount. Or if like maybe there's going to be a lot of translation of skills.
Like to the point where a build that you run is like where you just stay mounted the whole time. Like it might be so effective.
I
that you
imagine
just
Yeah.
there'd
stay
be
mounted.
like restrictions. Like I feel like there would have to be. Like you couldn't just be on the mount 24/7. But that being said, it would be cool to like if there was like world bosses that you could just take on fully mounted the whole time.
Yeah.
Like that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
you
and
know?
it's like running and you're like chasing it like,
Yeah.
yeah. Pew, pew,
I
pew.
imagine like raids and things like that. There'd be like sections where you just couldn't do anything with the
There's-
mount at all.
yeah,
or.
There's going to be definite like dedicated mechanics to
Yeah,
each
it would have
system,
to be.
right? I'll be curious to see how they deliver this with the controller and mindset.
Yeah.
One of the biggest complaints that Guild Wars 2 has is, I want dedicated controller support. Like I want Steam controller support. And
It's just hard to do with what they have.
it's hard to do.
Yeah.
I
but
don't know how you
now-
come up with the systems.
they'd have to overhaul everything because now they have to have that controller in mind.
And you guys know my pet peeve. I'm calling it right now. ANET, don't let me down, please.
You hear that?
Controller first.
Do not.
We're saying.
If I'm on a PC and I got a fucking controller and mouse, or a mouse and keyboard setup, do not give me a single menu that is a fucking wheel. I don't want it. I'm on PC. If I see the wheel menu, it's like hold tab and then select your. No. Do not design your UI for your PC fan base around console. Do not do it. Have a clear delineation, please. Please. The UI can even be shit. I just do not make it a fucking wheel. I hate wheel menus. The moment I see that on a PC, I'm like, they don't respect me. They don't respect me.
Respect my authority.
Respect my authority.
So that's Guild Wars 2. I mean,
3.
well, yeah, Guild Wars 3. Sorry. But, well, yeah, because what my next thought was is like, this is a great time. If you ever had any interest in playing Guild Wars 2, this is the time to get into it because they're going to be going through all the base game. There's a ton of surging player base that is into it right now, and it's free to play, so it's awesome.
And you got a lot of time till Guild Wars 3.
And you've got at least probably 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Is there? Let's talk about it. Like, so that was everything about the game. Let's talk about the PlayStation 5 part of it. Is there an MMO on PS5 at all?
Yeah.
Like, there is?
Yeah,
Final Fantasy,
Elder Scrolls Online.
Elder Scrolls, DC Universe Online.
Final Fantasy, right?
Yeah, the Crimson Desert games. Not the Crimson, the Black Desert.
Black
yeah,
Desert
yeah, Black
games.
Desert Online. Okay.
So like, there's a definitely.
I didn't know BDO was on console.
Yeah, there's definitely a pretty fair amount of Conan.
Exiles.
Wow. Okay.
Soon to be Dune.
Soon to be Dune.
Soon
Like,
to be Dune.
it's no stranger to MMO. It's just not their bread and butter. So like, it's definitely doable and doably easy, I think. The real question comes into like, how do they get it to work while still like giving their console or their PC players their,
Well, Guild Wars has always ran like shit, so it's like they do a great job on low end hardware, but like for high end hardware, for whatever reason, you're never getting more than like 120 FPS in Guild Wars. I don't know why. Like, you could have a fucking computer from NASA, it's not gonna change anything. But they make it work well on the low end stuff. You could turn graphics down like all the way.
Yeah. There's got to be more than that too, as far as MMOs that have come out on.
I think the flagship for PlayStation, I mean, I might be wrong, but the one I see the most ads for is Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's
That's
the
a
most
big one.
successful one on PlayStation. I tried it, did not like it.
No, it's pay to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to get into it multiple times.
BBO.
Fallout 76.
Play to win.
Fallout 76.
Okay.
That's another one.
I had a conversation.
Top three MMOs currently played
Final
right
Fantasy.
now: Final Fantasy, ESO, and Black Desert. Fantasy Star Online
conversation.
2, New Genesis.
Ooh.
is
I had a
also-
conversation with a fan of a Final Fantasy game, and they were like trying to sell it to me. They were like, "It's really good, but to unlock the content to play the game, you have to do the story." And it's about 300 hours of story.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, to some people, that probably is like orgasmic to hear,
Yeah,
because I hear that like their storytelling is awesome, but
Dude.
to me, fuck, man.
300 hours.
Hey, you want to join in this dungeon? Oh shit, what expansion is that tied under? Oh yeah, I'm like 120 hours from getting to that point.
I'm a story-based guy. That does not sound fun.
No.
so much.
If I'm spending more, like,
Especially if they said
honestly, the most I'll commit to a story game, and even this is pushing it, is like 50 hours. For that type of game.
Yeah.
If it's like a game that's designed around that, I'll sink in a good amount of time. But 300 hours? Hell
well, and especially
no.
said
So
to get
much.
to the meat
I'm-
and potato of the games.
People say at least too. It's like,
To get to the
Yeah.
meat and potato of the games, I have to at 300 hours later.
Yeah.
Then
well,
I'm gonna have fun.
I mean, I get it. Like, MMO players like are kind of known for just sinking in hours. So 300, I guess, isn't that much in the grand scheme of things. But like, just to get to the part that you want to play, that's such a grind.
so much. And let me ask you this. I think this is an interesting discussion. I heard a podcaster talking about Guild Wars 3.
Was it us?
Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy does this interesting thing where there's no classes. So you have one character and then
Yeah.
you specialize in different things. And you can specialize in all things if you want to grind it all out. But you specialize in one thing generally. But you have one character. There's no concept of like alts versus the traditional path of having different professions and like a class identity. When you play this class, you're playing as such.
You're locked in on that. Yeah.
What's your guys' take on that? Do you like the alternative of running an alt? Do you like having a one-stop shop for your class design? Like, what do you think?
So go ahead.
I don't mind alts as long as you give me a fast pass through the game. Otherwise, I hate them. Like, if you once I reach endgame with one, because Destiny did this later, and plenty of games do it. Once you've reached endgame with one character, when you start an alt, you get some consumable something that instantly levels you up to max level, and it beats the campaign for you. That is essential for an alt. If I don't have that, it's gonna be tough to get me to start an alt and finish it because of like the commitment of having to play through the campaign again to get to. With games like that, especially, I see the end game as the main event. So it's like I have to get through the pre-course work again.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
So my in a perfect world, I do like some distinction in classes. I like the idea. So like if we're looking like at a fantasy game, I want my barbarian or my knight or whatever to be able to do certain things that no other class can do. But um I don't want that to dominate it. So like in a perfect world for me in my game, my character can do whatever he wants when it starts, with save for the fact that because he's a barbarian, he has this locked that nobody else can do. But that's so kind of maybe like a healthy hybrid of both.
Yeah. I'm kind of a guy that doesn't like. I have all the alts in Guild Wars 1 and 2 because I just play it that much, and I think there's a happy medium in this. Like I don't. I think with ARPGs, like you come out every new season, you have to like grind up a new character. That doesn't feel good to me. I have to take time off of those games to be able to really get back into it. Guild Wars 2 does this like in a very clean way. They have these things called like Tombs of Knowledge, and I can literally create a character and have it at max level in 2 seconds. Just like you said, it's basically a consumable that you just swallow and freaking boom, you're max level. And then Guild Wars 2 respects your time in the sense that you have this thing called teleport to friend. So if your friend is like doing some boss or whatever, and you like want to join him on a character you just created that you just got to max level with all your gear, and like you just put custom gear on or whatever, you just teleport to friend, boom, and you're there. And like it's so, and you're right on their spot. So it's so alt friendly that I don't mind a system like that. And I do kind of like that a profession identity to some extent. Like, hey, I'm playing a necromancer. I'm gonna be a necromancer.
Yeah.
So I do like that profession identity. But if there's a way to do it in like one character where like my identity does change. Maybe I glow green or something if I'm a necromancer, and I glow red if I'm a berserker or barbarian.
The more I
whatever.
think
Like,
about
don't know.
it, the more what I think it is it depends on the type of game I'm playing. So if I'm playing a very collaborative, like team-based game, I want my classes to feel distinct and unique, and they need to do different things because that's how it should work when you're playing like a team-based experience. So in an MMO, that makes more sense. But if I'm playing a single-player experience, then just give me the Elden Ring approach, where anybody could just do anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and make it to where you still specialize in one thing, but like there's a pathway to.
There's a pathway to
getting
get
the
to
other
wherever
ones,
you
yeah.
want, without needing to reroll.
Yeah.
Like you could, yeah, sure, you have like certain characters start with higher stats, but that becomes pretty much negligent after just a couple hours of
Yeah.
gameplay.
And I think that's why when you talk about like it really comes down to the systems that you have in place to support alts. Where if it's like, hey, I'm expected to just slog through everything that I have and it's not accelerated in any meaningful way. Oh no, can't do it.
No.
Can't do it. So, anything else that you guys want to chat about?
That's all I had in me.
Guild Wars 3, man.
Gave you all I had.
Thanks, Coach.
Xbox. Just real quick, they're doing like a complete 180. The new CEO.
Yeah.
They've been releasing news about how they're going to focus on exclusives again. They're going to focus on their own console.
They're coming back in a major way. They're pushing it hard.
Apparently, their showcase went really
Apparently-
well.
Yeah.
Like I've
The
seen. I
public
don't know.
response to
couldn't
them
name-
has been really good.
Yeah. And it's like I said, it's 100%. They're like, we need to focus on our exclusives, and they've even said that there's a couple games that they've already said, yeah, it's only going to be Xbox.
People memed on
Why
her.
do they need to focus on their? Just make those games and then port them to PlayStation. Like I don't. Why does it have to be? Like and then the
Console
fan
players
base to
want
be.
the
Yeah, that's so
exclusives.
Yeah.
crazy to me. It's like I want you to chip me.
Yeah.
Because now there's gonna be people like you who fucking buy both because it's like, oh, I really want to play that game.
That's the point.
I know it's
Yeah.
crazy to
Yeah,
me.
that's the point.
But like, they want that.
Yeah.
What that is, I cannot.
I mean, I've
Get
still
your communist shit out of here. I don't need this where we all share.
Make it for everyone. Everyone's on an equal playing field.
for now. For me, Xbox is still. I'm not getting the new one. I'm getting the new PlayStation.
You say that until the game comes out that you want.
but I don't know what game they have to offer right now that I
So,
would be like.
The argument that I've heard for exclusives is the reason that this is what they say that they push it is because it generally creates a higher caliber game because it has to be console selling. And so
So there's like this arbitrary pressure.
there's this like people say that if a game is an exclusive, then that puts pressure on the developer to deliver a more top-notch experience that you wouldn't get if it was released on all three platforms. That's the argument that I've heard.
Wow.
Because you're not just selling the game. Sony, for example, they're expecting that game to also sell consoles. And so
Mhm.
they think that high pressure environment will produce higher quality.
Competition drives the market, creates
It
innovation.
definitely does, but compete with your compete with your content. Like that same pressure, I feel like you could get from just trying to compete. And if you're trying to make Xbox relevant, be a publisher and publish great fucking games that sell on every platform. I don't. That's wow. That's
kind of
cra-
leaned.
I need to watch the showcase.
They didn't. I don't think their approach was right. They tried to do that and they failed.
Did they even fucking try? What did they release? Half baked, like Halo. Did Halo ever launch on PlayStation? No. Did it? I don't think
So,
so. Infinity or whatever. Like
The new
Infinite?
Halo's not out yet. It is going to be on PlayStation. The
Combat
remake.
evolved.
Yeah. So
Like, did they even get to the point? Like, did they try this vision long enough to where they could try it?
like
and see?
Starfield, Avowed, Outer Worlds. Those are all Xbox games that they released on PlayStation also. And
Yeah, but none of those have like a built-in fan base. Those were all new
Bethesda.
IPs, right?
yeah, but it's Bethesda.
I guess the
Obsidian.
studio has.
the studio has like followers and stuff. But they haven't really released anything. They haven't released like, the
anything Xbox.
Halo. They
Yeah.
haven't released. When's the last time Xbox released like the game, the exclusive?
Can't even remember.
Yeah, so like I think
The idea that this is gonna make them better, I just fucking.
And then there's a special Xbox edition that's see through the case, and people are all hyped over it.
Wait, they actually unveiled the console?
No, it's the current
just a-
existing console, just special edition.
special edition.
And it's remember how Xbox was like the green and you could see through to the hardware? It was like that green
Yeah.
plastic. It's that.
It's cool looking. I wouldn't buy it if I already had one, but
But that new CEO, she's coming in and she's flipping
People are
everything.
like it-
Yeah,
she
before I
had
judge it,
really-
I'm gonna watch it.
she had really negative perception when she took over just because she was like the lead on their AI development for a while, and people were like, "What does she know about gaming? This bitch!" And like they're getting all angry. But she's really flipped that around. People are really liking the things that she's doing, and so far nothing's actually happened. It's just like talk.
What-
But
I still am. I know you said like until they release the next game. I'm still not sold, and I don't know. I don't know what game it would take, but in my mind, there's no surviving Xbox exclusive that is out there right now that could pull me back.
Gears of War,
No,
Halo.
I fell off way off. Halo, I fell off way off. Way off.
Watch this Halo release be so successful on PlayStation that they like pivot again.
And they're like,
Like,
actually, we're moving back to no more consoles.
I don't know.
Yeah, so that was interesting because that was like the last day was the Xbox showcase, or it was like after the Summer Games Fest.
What's funny is I was bought into their previous vision of
Everything's in Xbox,
yeah.
or whatever they're saying.
I thought that was-
nobody
I
else in the
really-
world was though.
I loved the idea that their brand now was going to be, they were morphing it into an Xbox, like I don't know, Xbox operating system, which is like a light version of Windows. And I don't know. I was really, I saw the vision. I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know. I guess it's because I'm a non-console player, but
You were
see.
definitely the minority.
who's gonna fucking,
Yeah.
who's gonna buy an Xbox now? You're gonna
Malachi.
tell me, is he? You're gonna
He's-
tell me that like they come out with some exclusive.
People will buy it. Yeah.
Well,
they're
the
gonna-
main reason he is because he's
They're back, baby.
no, he's more ingrained in that ecosphere right now. Like he's not a PlayStation guy; he's an Xbox guy. So he's currently like, do you know what I mean by that? He's already
like those titles appeal to him
Bought
more
into
than
it.
PlayStation.
He's a
he's
lifer.
bought into Xbox,
Yeah.
not PlayStation. Whereas I've more shifted now to PlayStation. That's where most of my stuff is.
Yeah.
He's got everything. on
People could
Xbox.
change.
Yeah.
I talked shit about iPhones for years. And then one day I just decided to get one. I don't know why. And I still don't really like it that much, if I'm being honest with you. But I'm probably going to get the next iPhone.
Yeah, I know. You're stuck in it now.
Cameras are pretty good.
I'm still in the 14. I haven't upgraded. And
Yeah,
Exactly.
my upgrade path on phones like 5 years. It
I'm
lasts
way
so
behind
long.
everyone because I'm like, it still works. Like,
yeah,
just fine.
if the battery doesn't go, I'm good.
My battery still lasts all day. But it only lasts a day now. It used to last several days. But I just charge it every night and I'm still fine.
Planned obsolescence.
Let's have another hour talk on phones. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Dylan, where can people find us?
They can find us right here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, where we come at you live in color. Leave a like, subscribe.
I thought this was a black
chat.
chat the whole time.
We could.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
Noir. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
We should have talked about that. We'll save it for next time.
I didn't want to. I was going to. I didn't want to do that to him on his night.
Yeah.
You guys had 7 minutes before I got here.
With no audio.
Fumbled minutes.
But yeah, come leave a like, subscribe. Join us, let us know what you think. Let us know what games you're excited for.
Yeah, there were so
Right?
many announced.
There's a ton. I was just talking to Kyle about this. This Summer Games Fest gave me more like ammo, or not ammo, but like future games to look forward to than the Game Awards.
I would agree with that.
Like I'm more hyped on
For
the games
sure.
that were shown here
For sure.
than anything shown in the Game Awards.
I'm totally biased because Guild Wars 3's got me by
Yeah.
the balls, but I feel like holistically the quality of games, and I don't know if it's the way the show was designed. I just felt like, oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. And I feel like in times past, I'm like, this is weird. Oh, I don't know about that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Come
All
join
right.
us.
Well, remember, with the good KD, you get the dub.
Bye, guys.